Surprise, motherfucker. 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 Surprise, motherfucker.
God damn it. Surprise, motherfuckers. It's she. It's that SALAD. And this is And this is I Played a Thing, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition, New Game Plus Abridged. And here in the Undead Burg, I see a good opportunity to be a dick. Yeah, that was a little more fun than it should have been.
Well now, then you are trying.
We have to pick up the residence key again in the new game cycle. Oh, and remember how there was this jump here that I couldn't quite make in my first time around and didn't want to fiddle around with it forever? We'll give that another try. Yep. And we finally get to see what there is to be had over here. Oh, it's just a light crossbow, and I'm not a huge fan of crossbows, but if you want a free one in the early game, there's your opportunity. Moving along, time to take on the New Game Plus version of the Taurus Demon. Of course, we've got a few more things in our arsenal this time. Blarg to you too, sir. And he really can turn on a dime compared to some enemies, and whew, look at that damage. Of course, my damage is pretty good too. Oh, it looks like we got the Great Axe drop this time. We'll add it to the pile. Hey, Solaire. Sorry about that letting you go crazy thing last time. We'll try and do better. Alright, next thing we're gonna want to add to, as we've been doing so far this time around, is more dexterity and more vitality. Good to take damage, good to deal it. Or good to be able to take damage more accurately. And you'll remember last time when I had some trouble blowing the tail off of this Hellkite dragon. Couldn't afford enough arrows to do it. Not so much of a problem this time, so I can successfully retrieve that there Drake Sword. The Drake Sword is pretty useless at this point. In your first cycle of new game, it's a pretty good weapon because it has very nice base damage. However, it has no scaling whatsoever, so it does outstay its usefulness before too terribly long. But if you have enough arrows and want to shoot that tail off in the original game cycle, and get one of those to put out a good damage rate in the early going, then there you go. And here I just got into a little shootout with the crossbow hollows up on the bridge there, and I just decided to leave this part in to demonstrate the way that they can kind of curve their arrows. If you sidestep some, but not enough, then their arrows will actually bend in flight to hit you. Well, I should say bolts. They're crossbow bolts rather than arrows. But yeah, if you watch the sort of air trace on the flight, you can especially see that last arrow, the way it just kind of turned itself around to hit me. I'd say it reminds me of Wanted, but I hate Mark Millar. Hey there, Zigmeyer. Sorry about the whole going hollow thing last time. Again, we'll try and prevent that. Oh, yes, I got caught by a tree grab here. Just figured I'd show that. Does quite a bit of damage in New Game Plus. And it's time for a reunion with our old friend B. And I really kind of like the way she explodes out of the foliage there. Hugs! Oh, blatant rejection there. Oh well. Beatrice, you were certainly a great asset in the original Moonlight Butterfly battle. We'll see if you hold up in New Game Plus. And I'm just going to throw on my Crest Shield for its very high-quality magic block. And up we go. You coming? Cool. This was never a particularly difficult boss, so I'm thinking with our greater resources we should do just fine. Alright, punch some power into our chest. Make our scythe all nasty and spiky. And let's swat a big bug. Beatrice, you're looking a little crooked there. God damn, B, get your aim right. Better. Moonlight Butterfly, come on down. And which bee gets the kill? Hey, don't be shooting at me. And much as I hate to do it, we're going to go early this time on having our battle with Syphils. Always kind of a downer, but we're going to need that covenant sooner than later this time. On the bright side, since we haven't done the DLC at this point, we're going to see how Sif reacts to our presence when he doesn't know us. Yep, this time the encounter is less mournful and more martial. Alright then, Syphils. No quarter asked, none given. And this being New Game Plus, he can put quite a bit more of a hurting on us when he manages to land with that big old Artorias sword there. Still not a terribly difficult boss if you're sword tanky, or rather shield tanky, like I'm doing with my big old great shield. If you're dealing with this with a smaller shield, it can be a little bit tougher because those double slashes he has, especially the rotating one, can take off quite a bit of your stamina. Playing quite the game of keep away this time, too. I always feel shitty when he starts to get gimpy. Oh, yeah, this is getting hard to watch. Good night, puppy. Finally, some lizard chunks. And the Darker Dark Knight has a little problem. Well, it's a win. I'll take it. And we now have enough for a level. More of that good damage output. And we can spark up the concealed Dark Grip Bonfire. And here I've rescued Dusk again, and just for collector purposes, I am going to buy up her back catalog. Nothing I'm likely to use, but hey, why not? In the lower Undead Burg, I picked up some of the Hollow Thief set, a very uncommon drop. Nothing exciting, just a rarity. Capra Demon. You know how I say this fight can go either very well or very badly in a hurry, depending on how it starts out? Yeah, it went really well for me last time, and this time, not quite so much. Yeah, he's really not a guy you want to trade hits with in the early game. But I did get a chance to rescue Griggs, and will buy up his back catalog as well. And I'd like that Bellowing Dragon Crest ring, but I was a little too broke, so I went into the cemetery and just farmed some skeletons for a little while. There we go. Well, that was kind of embarrassing. This time I'll take a slightly different approach to the whole Capra demon business. I'm just gonna kind of slug it out with him block and counter style. Interestingly, and I didn't know this, by staying close to the entrance, I do not aggro the second dog. I really thought it went after you immediately upon the fight starting, but apparently it doesn't. So it's still just kind of hanging out there in its alcove after the fight is over. I could have completely left it alone, actually, had I not needed to recover my soul pile there. And we'll make a quick stop in the depths for the large ember and the all-important swamp bro, whose bat catalog I am also going to acquire. And now, it's time to head on back into the new Londo ruins, where we will find the damage-boosted ghosts in New Game Plus are definitely a little bit more of a threat. Especially in groups.
I watch over the four kings, the masters of the dark wraiths. The dark wraiths are the enemies of man, and any living thing that has a soul. They were born in New Londo, and that is where they perished. The entire city was sacrificed to contain them, for that is how great a threat they were.
Well then, Ingward, we can't have you hoarding the key to the seal if they're that dangerous. I mean, the Lord Vessel isn't as important as me taking care of them now, is it?
Oh, you are no different from the rest. So be it. I am Ingward, the guardian of the sea. Prepare to meet your doom.
I like how his reaction to being scythed across the waist is just an exasperated sigh. And that big wand of his isn't just for show.
Forgive me, my countrymen.
That was actually a little bit scary because Ingward can be slightly bugged in the PC version, and occasionally he forgets to drop his key when he dies. Thankfully, that was not an issue this time. And we are definitely going to pick up the very large ember while we're in town. Alright, here I'm going to demo my preferred way for defeating the four kings in New Game Plus, where they become possibly the hardest boss fight in the game. I also noticed that I have a lot of souls and I want to keep a Ring of Sacrifice on, but I need to put the Covenant on, so that means my only choice here is to break my FAP ring. Never something I enjoy doing, but we will be able to get another one this playthrough, so it'll be alright in the end. Alright, now how I like to handle the much more difficult Four Kings fight in New Game Plus is to hovel up. Basically, you want to put on the heaviest armor, not the heaviest armor, but the highest poise armor you can. And if you've got the hovel set, it's going to be that. Don't worry about your fat roll, because you're not going to need to roll in this fight if you do it this way. You just want as much poise as possible, so your Estus chugs will not be interruptible. Oh, you sneaky Pete. Trying to creep up on me while I'm changing my armor. It's not nice to walk in on a lady while she's changing. So yeah, poise, if you don't recall, is what allows you to take hits without flinching. And that is going to be of paramount importance here because we need to be able to heal any time we want to. Or more accurately, any time we need to. The idea here is that the Four Kings is just a big damage race in New Game Plus. You just can't afford to have more than spawning in before you kill the previous ones. So we just want to hurt them as hard and fast as possible. And I'm putting on the Grasscrest shield, even though I'm going to be two-handing my weapon, because the way passive effects from shields work, if you're two-handing a weapon, even having that shield on your back allows you to continue enjoying its passive effect. And the Grasscrest shield causes my stamina to regain faster. And having that as an active effect will be very nice to have indeed. Also, you want your highest DPS weapon here, which in this case is going to be the Gold Tracer for me. The Falchion or the Painting Guardian Sword is a little bit better if you have it maxed out, but I do not. And the Gold Tracer is easy to max out because it only requires Twinkling Titanite. And here I try and buff the Gold Tracer and find that I cannot, which is a bit surprising to me because it has no passive effects, or rather auxiliary effects aside from bleed. But whatever, the game just doesn't want me buffing it, and who am I to argue? Now what I really should have done was keep my shield up here during the approach rather than trying to guard with the Gold Tracer, because it's not especially good at that, and I nearly get myself insta-nuked by the spell attack, and the king doesn't have too much of a difficulty finishing me off. Oh well. We'll know better next time. And since I managed to save my soul stash there with the Ring of Sacrifice, we'll be able to spend that goodly pile on some more level ups. Make things a little easier still next time. And considering how fast the king there was able to murder me, I think having a little more max HP would be a very nice thing indeed. And so we'll be all ready to get our FAP ring back in the near future. I went ahead and busted Lautrec out of prison. And we have a couple of Firekeeper souls from the Undead Parish and the new Londo ruins, so we'll boost up the concentration of our Sunny D. Having good heals will certainly help for the Four Kings.
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life. Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so.
Since I've been doing things a little out of sequence here, the clerics have already gotten in trouble in the dungeon without me actually seeing them in Firelink.
Ah, you certainly are keeping busy. Care to pay for a useful tip? A wise choice indeed. Maiden Thurland and her followers recently arrived in this land, but she became stranded deep below the catacombs. Her followers either fled or were reduced to hollows, leaving Maiden Thurland all alone. Not a bad tip. A Nubar cleric would be replete with humanity. That tip I gave you, I heard it from a fleeing old man. That poor bastard. All his robes and trinkets won't help him now.
Well, since I paid off Petrus earlier and managed to keep his storyline unbroken, I was able to get that extra bit of dialogue from, obviously, evil Lautrec. And now there's a bit more from Petrus as well.
Oh, hello there. Have you spoken with Sir Lautrec? Splendid. In the depths of the catacombs, Milady slipped off the giant's coffin and into a hole. Her two companions are no longer human, and the lass weeps in solitude. Right now, you could do as you please with her. The poor little purebred is entirely helpless. Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
You creepy, creepy bastard. Alright, that's really all we're ever going to need of old Lautrec.
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
Oh, you want me to be unfriendly, is it? I can do that. Unfortunately, since I kicked him off the wall at a dumb angle, he didn't actually fall off the side, and then got a little bit irritated when I stomped on his head for 3 damage. So here I just try and kick him the rest of the way down to the next death cliff, while he tries to walk past me to his standard point. But then I screw up one of the kicks.
You leave me no choice. I was once grateful to you. But if this is our fate, so be it.
And sadly, I do not manage to kick him to his death without aggroing him. But at least we get to have a fight now. Oh, he was going for a parry there. That probably would have hurt if he had landed the riposte. But this'll hurt him even more. And he's glowing now, which suggests he must have one of the Tearstone rings. I'm despicable? Oh well, fap fap. Now then, back to New Londo, and let's do it properly this time. Reminder to self, do not two-hands the gold tracer until I'm actually within melee range, because it would be a very good idea to shield up to that point. There you are. Now then, once we're in range, we two-hand and we just spam that R1 for all it's worth. Which looks pretty cool with the, what do you call it, with the after image of the gold tracer. But you see our damage climbs nice and fast, right up into the 4 digits. And because of our incredible poise from the Havel set, we can just keep on fighting and drinking through any attack that hits us. You'll also probably notice there that I continued to attack the dead 4 King while it was in its death animation, because if you continue to hit, then you will continue to do damage to the overall boss life bar at the bottom. An additional bonus to the high poise and the grass crest shield on my back is that as I take a drink when I need to, then while I'm in the Estus animation, I get a really good amount of my stamina back. There we are. Had plenty of time before that one spawned. And I am a happy bunny when they dash right into melee range like that instead of trying to hang back and shoot magic at me. Because we really need to damage race these guys. I can never tell when they're going to try and grab me or do that AoE spell. The animation between the two, I don't know about you, but it's very hard for me to distinguish. And that was excellent timing. We finished that one off right as the final king spawns in. Spam, spam, spam. Lovely streaks of gold. And fucking nice goal. And that, dear friends, is the story of how I acquired a Lord Soul before even ringing the first bell of awakening. But who's that over behind the bonfire? Framped? No, something's a little bit different. Well, let's go head on over and make friends, why don't we?
Greetings, undead warrior. I am the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Kaathe. I can guide thee, illuminate the truth. Undead warrior, conqueror of the four kings, is this not your wish? To know the truth of men and the undead?
I like truth.
Undead warrior, prove you must that the truth becomes you. Seek Amor Londo and claim Gwyn's heirloom, the Lord Vessel. Go, undead warrior. Show the world that the truth becomes you. If you wish, I shall grant the art of life drain, the legendary power of the Dark Lord. It can preserve your humanity while undead, and cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
So yeah, meet Darkstalker Kaathe. He's going to be our primordial serpent buddy for this playthrough. And he also, as you can see, allows us to join the Dark Wraith Covenant. And you level up in this covenant by offering humanity, just like the Chaos Servants, and you can buy cracked red-eye orbs here if you like to invade a lot.
Undead warrior, to speak now is premature. It begins with your retrieval of the Lord Vessel.
There are some decent goodies for leveling up in this covenant, but it takes about 30 humanity, I think, so I'll do that later when I have a good stash again.
What is it? I am your guardian. Go on, state your wish.
Aw, we have a guardian. But yeah, we're not gonna get a whole lot else out of Kaathe, aside from Covenant rewards, until we bring him the Lord Vessel. But we should have enough souls to do some more leveling now that we've beaten the four kings. After doing our obligatory repairs, of course. And since we grabbed a whole lot of HP last time, this seems like a good time to pump our damage. Also, you may have seen we have a warp option in the bonfire there now. That's because we can't just walk out of the abyss. And I think we can add one more to our level before we go. Always fun to make the scythe more hardy. Alright, I've warped on back to the parish, and it's time to summon our buddy Solaire. "420, praise it every day." Let's do some jolly cooperating. And once again, we've got something a little better than gold pine resin this time. So this should be a piece of pudding. Although just like everything else in New Game Plus, the bell gargoyles can now hit rather hard. I take a crack or two at the tail here, but I do not succeed in severing it. And I just do damage too damn fast now, so I ended up just wanting to kill the thing before its buddy started double teaming us. That was kind of a nice dodge, if I do say so myself. Well, even though that went pretty painlessly, I do appreciate the distraction there, Solaire. And thank you for the medal. And the bell being rung, I now have a little visit with Ozfest and pick up his very expensive Karmic Justice. I'll probably never use it, but again, I'm just kind of being collectorish this time through. And just in case I ever do want miracles, since I have high intelligence, the Velka's Talisman will be an excellent choice. And a quick detour to take care of our friend the Stray Demon. With our greatly increased stats, our much more dangerous scythe, our improved buffs, and a fully powered up crest shield, this should be no problem at all. Shake that booty, quake that booty. And butt demons are so easy to bleed out. And we gets our slab. Shut up, Frampt. I got a new bestie. Well, I think that's just about enough New Game Plus for one day. But before we call it a day, there ought to be room for one more level in our soul accumulations. More power. Alright everybody, this is Un and newly minted Dick Wraith Salad, signing off. Always a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon, when New Game Plus Abridged keeps rolling. My thanks as ever to such generous servants of the dark, as Justin Carpenter, to whom I'd like to wish a very happy birthday today, Noden, Zangamarth, Charlie Dunst, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Johnny Millennium, Sanguine Games, Joseph Coco, Canis, Misha Van Doren, Craig Patterson, Frank Grizzy, and Tim J. Your assistance is always appreciated, as is the presence of all viewers, supporters, watchers, commenters, all friends of the show. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you real soon.